You know, ever since I was little, I always wanted to be Cruella de Vil, and now I am.
You know, this is reality. You know, my son is gay. That's reality.
I still remember the first time E.J. Johnson said it with complete confidence, like there wasn't even a question in his mind. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be Cruella de Vil, and now I am. That wasn't just a joke. That was a statement, a declaration, a glimpse into how EJ sees himself. And honestly, it told people everything they needed to know, because EJ Johnson has never been interested in fitting inside anyone else's box. Not the son of Magic Johnson box.
As a woman. But that doesn't mean that a doctor ain't gonna call you until you need a prostate examination.
Not the gay man label. Not even the trans woman category people keep trying to place him in. He exists somewhere in between. Somewhere that confuses people, frustrates people, and for some, completely triggers them. And right now, two people in particular are going all the way in on him. Katt Williams and D. Hughley. Both of them have basically turned EJ into the poster child for what they believe is happening in modern culture. A world where identity has become performance, biology is treated like an opinion, and confusion gets celebrated instead of questioned. And according to them, E.J. Johnson is the perfect example. Because let's be honest, the internet has been roasting him nonstop.
Like, now we live in a country where a man could say, now I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm. This latest round started after E.J. was spotted in Paris, confidently strutting around in what looked like a women's leather dress, paired with heels. So massive people were joking they needed their own zip code. And this came only weeks after another viral interview where EJ boldly claimed something that had social media screaming. He said he looks better than any woman, not some women, any woman. And if that wasn't enough, he also claimed he only attracts straight men. Now pause right there, because that statement alone sent people into detective mode. If a man is attracted to EJ Johnson, how exactly is that man straight? That's where people said the math stopped mattering. Because EJ dates men, but he says he's not gay. He doesn't want he/him.
Now I'm a woman, and we will call you by your name.
He prefers they/them, or she/her. He doesn't even want his own parents calling him son. He made that crystal clear. He said on his birthday, he told them, "We're not doing he. We're not doing man. We're not doing gay." And even Magic Johnson's son. He said that identity is dead too. That's dead. Now there's Miss Thing. That line alone told people this wasn't just self-expression anymore. This was reinvention. Total identity replacement. And while some people applauded it as freedom, others saw it as something completely different. Attention, performance, validation addiction. And that's exactly where D.L. Hughley stepped in. D.L. didn't dance around it. He basically said, call yourself whatever you want, but biology doesn't care. He made the point bluntly, a man can wake up and declare, I'm a woman now. Society might respect the pronouns. People may adjust the language. But when it comes time for a prostate exam, reality is still waiting. That was his argument. Not hatred. Not personal attacks, just biology. He even joked, you can wear a sundress to the appointment if you want, but you're still getting the same exam I'm getting. Brutal, funny, and for a lot of people, painfully true, because that's the core of this entire debate. Can identity override biology? Can feelings rewrite facts? And once that question gets asked, things get uncomfortable fast. Because then people start asking harder questions. Like, is this really self-discovery? Or is this cultural encouragement of confusion? And that's where Katt Williams took it somewhere much darker. Because Katt doesn't think this is random at all. He thinks it's orchestrated, planned, engineered. According to Katt, this entire cultural obsession with gender identity didn't just happen naturally. He believes it was always coming. And he says he knew that 20 years ago, not because he was psychic, not because he was a prophet, but because he had already seen what was happening behind the scenes in Hollywood. During his appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, Katt made one of the wildest claims of his career. He connected Hollywood success, celebrity humiliation rituals, transgender symbolism, and the occult figure Baphomet. Yes, Baphomet. According to Katt, the earliest place he encountered the word transgender was tied to Baphomet symbolism. He claimed there were rituals of allegiance, symbolic humiliation, and kissing the ring as proof of loyalty to power. In his view, nothing in Hollywood is random. The dresses, the emasculation, the public humiliation, the bending of identity, it's all part of the same machine. His argument is simple. Once a celebrity agrees to do something that humiliates them, something that breaks their ego, they're owned. Because now the industry knows how far they're willing to go. And once you've crossed that line, they can control you. You comply, you stay quiet, you smile for the cameras, and you keep climbing. That's Katt's theory. And whether people believe him or not, a lot of them started looking at E.J. Johnson through that exact lens. Because if you step back, the symbolism becomes obvious. E.J. isn't just some random celebrity kid. He's the son of Magic Johnson, one of the most iconic masculine athletes of all time. Los Angeles Lakers legend, NBA superstar, billionaire businessman, the smiling face of strength, success, and old-school masculine confidence. And then there's EJ, flamboyant, designer dresses, full glam, heels, makeup, luxury fashion, and public statements about looking better than women and attracting straight men. To some people, that contrast feels symbolic, almost too symbolic. And that's why so many people believe the real story here isn't EJ, it's Magic. Because publicly, Magic says all the right things. He says he loves EJ, supports EJ, accepts EJ completely. When EJ came out, Magic said he was happy for his son, happy for the family. He said parents should support their children no matter what. And on paper, that sounds perfect. But people don't just listen to words. They watch body language. And every time Magic talks about EJ, people notice the same thing. The hesitation, the awkward pauses, the nervous smile, the lack of eye contact. It doesn't look effortless. It looks managed, like someone trying to say the right thing instead of the honest thing. And then there's another detail people keep catching. Magic constantly refers to EJ as gay, but EJ himself has said he rejects that label. He doesn't want gay. He doesn't want man. He doesn't want son. So when Magic keeps using those words, it raises a bigger question. Does he actually understand EJ? Or is he quietly holding on to the last version of his child he still recognizes? That question matters, because many people believe Magic is privately devastated, but publicly trapped. Think about it. This is a man who survived one of the biggest public image crises in sports history after his HIV announcement. He spent decades rebuilding trust, rebuilding image, rebuilding his legacy. Today, he's not just a basketball legend. He's a billion-dollar brand. Sponsors, endorsements, corporate respectability, public love. Everything depends on image. So if Magic even hinted, just slightly, that he was uncomfortable with EJ's lifestyle, the backlash would be instant. Media outrage, sponsor panic, public condemnation. He would be painted as the villain overnight. So what does he do? He smiles. He supports. He posts the Father's Day photos. He sits courtside. He plays the role. And according to Katt Williams' theory, that's the ritual. That's the ring being kissed. Not literally, symbolically, submission. Because for a hypermasculine athlete raised in a completely different era, watching your son become a national symbol of gender fluidity probably feels like emotional whiplash. Not because EJ is wrong, but because it challenges everything Magic grew up believing. And yet he can't resist it. He has to perform acceptance publicly, even if privately, he's still wrestling with it. That's why some people say the real victim isn't EJ. It's magic, because EJ gets freedom, visibility, fame, validation. But magic? Magic gets silence. He has to swallow pride, suppress discomfort, and smile through every interview. And once people noticed that pattern, they started seeing it everywhere. Not just Magic Johnson, Marlon Wayans, Eddie Murphy, Dwayne Wade, older, traditionally masculine black celebrities. Men raised in an era where softness got mocked and masculinity was everything. Now many of them have children who identify as trans or non-binary. And suddenly, they're expected to become the public face of perfect acceptance. Marlon Wayans talks about his trans child with humor, but people hear tension underneath, like he's still processing it in real time, still grieving the version of the future he once imagined. Grandkids, traditional family expectations, a familiar blueprint, and realizing none of that belongs to him to decide. Even Eddie Murphy gets pulled into this conversation. His child angel came out as trans, but Eddie rarely discusses it publicly. People notice, because he talks about his other children. So, why the silence here? Support or discomfort? Nobody knows. Then there's Dwayne Wade, who went the opposite direction. Loud support, public advocacy, constant visibility around his daughter Zaya. Some people call it beautiful. Others say it feels like overcompensation, like he's trying to prove something, maybe to the world, maybe to himself. And that's what makes this conversation so explosive, because it's not really about pronouns. It's about power, family, identity, control, masculinity, legacy, and whether public support always means private peace. As for EJ Johnson, he remains exactly where he's always been. Unbothered, expensive, confident, walking into rooms like he owns them. He doesn't seem interested in making people comfortable, and maybe that's the point. Maybe EJ is chaos to people, because he forces them to confront their own definitions of manhood, of womanhood, of truth, of performance, of what acceptance really means. So now the question turns to you. Does Magic Johnson truly accept EJ? Or is he just doing what public life demands? Is Katt Williams exposing uncomfortable truths? Or building conspiracy out of symbolism? And when someone says, "I am whoever I say I am," where does reality step in? Because whether people admit it or not, this conversation is a lot bigger than EJ Johnson.